Okay, so to kind of help you make sense of everything, and these pins back here, these are what I call my brood pins. And all the birds in these pins are not for sale. These are the brood stock, which everything for sale comes from. Each one of these breeds in this pen is probably worth quite a bit of money. I don't know if I want to say on video, but they're something I invested in. They're pure, and what's in the middle is all their offspring. And that's how I make my money, is by when they hatch babies in the spring, we raise them up, and then by the following year, once they're a year old, then they are for sale. And that's how I make my money off these birds. It's not a get rich quick thing. Like anything with farming, you gotta wait to get your money back, and you got losses. Maybe some of them won't all make it through the winter, and so it's just a gamble. But for the most part, it pays off pretty good, and it's definitely a good supplemental income. But also, like farming, anything you do takes a lot of work. Sometimes I think if you paid yourself for all the work you put into it, you might not hardly make much. But you're paying yourself for your own labor, and then it pans out okay, I guess. So these are coal miner mugs. I got them from AR Compound. I believe from California. I really think these are a cool color. You can't really see them in here that good, but they're very slate blue looking color. These are minor blues. And they would get 1 ounce cup plus the larger scoop. These are spangled coal miner mugs, also from AR Compound. That's the cock there. I've got them separated because the hens got chicks, and with these game birds, they will kill the chicks real easy like that if you got them in a smaller pen. So this is the hen and all his spangled offspring. Just about grown, really. It's about time to separate them. I'm trying to figure out which ones are the hens, which ones I'm going to keep in here, and then take the males out and the hens I want to sell out. Because once I separate them, I won't be able to put them back in. They'll fight too much. I will say though, even though it isn't the most lucrative job in the world, it is pretty satisfying, you know, to raise these birds up from real small and see how big and beautiful they get in the end. And with a little bit of patience and perseverance, you do make some pretty good money off them in the end. But it takes, you know, at least a year, 2 years per bird before you're able to get any money back from them in that regard. This is a seal cross. I believe it's King Cobra and Pakistani. These are also just some extra hens that I had for sale. They're just really nice game hens. I had a whole bunch of them, but I sold most of them. I still got these. There's about 5 of them left I didn't sell this summer. Out of about 20, 25. So that's not too bad. I had a higher price on these because they're just really nice hens. They got a really nice stance, and they're big. They'll make some real nice roosters if somebody wants to breed them. One thing I do like about these round pens is with them being high up off the ground, you don't really have to bend over so much to feed them. This is another coal miner mug from AR Compound. I'm going to use him as a replacement for that other cock in case something ever happens to him. That's one thing I learned too, as expensive as these birds are. I think AR Compound gets about $700 for a 2-year-old cock like this. So, you know, if a coon comes in and kills it, it's just really makes it tough. It's smart to keep a replacement on hand for sure. This is a Butcher Claret cross. A white Butcher crossed over a red Claret. And he's really good. I've gotten a lot of nice cocks out of him. They seem to sell pretty good. But I do need to finish a breeding pen for them. These are some more breeding pens that I have. These are the infamous gray black. My regular grays are in there. I haven't quite finished the outside pin there. And then we got sweaters there. And this is another breeding pen I've started on, but haven't finished. I need to build at least 2 more before winter. I pretty much build all these pins out of scrap material, so they don't hardly cost me anything. It's just maintenance. I need to paint them so they don't fall apart, but it's always so much to do. You can't get it all done at once. Over here we have a couple of Acel hens. I thought about crossing into my sweaters and my Kelsos to see if I can get some good roosters out of there to sell. Oops, that's their water dish. Once again for 2 adult chickens. This little in here is a little pullet. Is a I'm not even sure she's quite a year old yet, about 9 months. She is black round head crossed over a black Peruvian Kelso. She came out a weird color. Most of them come out pretty black, but she came out kind of black and gold looking. So next up is the sweaters. And there is 1 pair in here, so they would get 1 scoop. That's a little stag they had late this summer. I haven't caught him yet. And here are the black roundhead grays, or gray blacks, black grays as I call them. I kind of started running out of pen space, so I couldn't take these out. Same thing here. I've only got this 1 hen, and I'd like to keep some more. So I didn't want to take them out, so I figured out which ones were hens and which ones were roosters. And so far that cock he's not real old. I think he's just coming on 2 years old. He's not real mean, as long as they stay out of his way. But I do got to keep my eye on him, make sure he doesn't try killing him off. But they're just about big enough where I can tell what they are and get them out of there. Hopefully those will sell real well. They're kind of unique. This is a brown red hen. She's really pretty. She did have chicks, but she lost them. And I can't put her back in the other pen right now. I'm out of space. I need to finish building more pens. These are some sweater stags from that pen we just fed over there. I think that was their first hatch. And this was their second hatch. But they had a rooster too, but he died. They had 2 roosters. One of them got out and fought in July when it was real hot, and the other one died. Got sick and died. So not too good luck on the sweaters this year. Just that 1 young stag running around there. These are the pumpkin Halseys, the brood stock. These are the parents of those young males that were in the cage room that we fed earlier. I really love these. Love the yellow color. They're pretty cool. And now heading back around, these are the pure grays. One thing I would say about homesteading, you know, living off the grid, this type of lifestyle, using reclaimed lumber for your buildings is the ticket. That's really what made it, you know, affordable for me. If I had tried to use all new materials to build all these buildings, and it seems like every year I don't have enough, I got to build more pins, you know, it would just, you wouldn't be able to afford it. It just would be crazy cost. I just got this pair, so I'm excited. I'm hoping that come spring I'll have some nice babies to sell from them. And moving on, already fed all them. Now it's time to go feed the black round heads. Let's see, what do they do with their dish? Ooh. Always bury it. There it is. These are my pure black roundhead hens. There's also a pumpkin Halsey flary-eyed hen there that I just thought would be neat to cross with them. And over here we have the Sid Taylors. I had a hen that was really old and she didn't sit good. She lost her chicks a lot. I got this one pullet here this spring, and so hopefully I'll do better and have more of these for sale. These seem to go pretty well. People like the pure Sid Taylors. And then moving on, these are pumpkin Halsey and flary-eyed. The hen is a pure flary-eyed gray, and the male was crossed along the way with pumpkin Halsey to make him kind of that gold color. And next door we have the hatch pin. I need to actually make a bigger pin because we got several more hatch hens and they can't all be in the same pen. They fight too bad. There's just 2 hens in here and they just fight like cats and dogs. One of them is a McLean's hatch hen. And the other hen is a leaper. And even, I usually separate them, feed them in 2 different locations so they won't fight as bad. But they still fight like cats and dogs. These are some of my brown reds. Let's give them some feed. These are probably one of my favorite colors of game chickens is the brown red. I love that black over red. That kind of burgundy in the shoulders. It's just really a neat color, I think. Unfortunately, I didn't get a lot of babies out of these guys. Just another trio of brown red here. Not sure where the other hen is, but hopefully she didn't get out. And yet more brown reds in here. This hen had late chicks. Brown red hen. There's another brown red pair there. Guess it's a little dark in here, so maybe you can't see very well. And this pen here are the white pumpkin halsies. So we're almost done. We just have the Kelsos. That's just really a mixed pen there. And 2 red quills, and at the very end the Peacock pen. So just hang in there for a minute. When we get done, we get to go and have our coffee break. It's kind of like the highlight of my morning. We'll start with the Johnny Jumpers. The pure Johnny Jumper Kelsos. These are a pretty good seller as well. They're real gamey. They're great birds. Very majestic birds. I just love game chickens. I think they're it's a monopoly on chickens. If you want to raise chickens, you got to raise game chickens. They are the most fun. This is a couple stags. I think they are around 3 months old. A couple Kelso stags. This is a Peruvian Kelso cock. That is a Peruvian gray hen. And in here is a black roundhead hen. I thought there would be some interesting birds to cross together, but they didn't really do real good. Those two hens fought pretty bad. I separated them, but I don't know if I'll do it again. This is one of their offspring, a male and female. So we'll see. This is also a hen from them too. You can tell the difference between them and the pure black roundheads because they've got kind of like green colored legs. I think they're pretty cool, but I don't know if I just bred them to sell. It's not something I think I'll. Oops. Not something I think I'll continue breeding though. They make some nice fiery birds, that's for sure. And since I live in Michigan, all these birds have got to be moved inside for the winter. The ones in these outdoor cages like this. That's a whole nother project all in itself. These are pure red quill right here. Look like we're scraping the bottom of the bucket. This is a lonely Kelso pullet. She just didn't sell. I have a bunch of them this spring, and she was one of the younger ones, so she didn't sell. I may keep her for a brood hen. She's a great looking hen. Last but not least is the second pair of red quill. I'm getting a little low on feed. I'm gonna have to go grab some feed. Hold on. All right, 2 pins left. Second red quill. And those are his 2 hens up there. He's kind of mean right now, so he's not letting them down to eat. You know how game chickens can be. But I'm also feeding them inside, so they have 2 different areas to go to. And lastly, out here is the Peacock. I had a peahen, but she didn't make it through the winter a couple years ago, and I tried to buy a hen for him last year, and they were so high I couldn't find anything under 200 bucks. So he's lonely right now. I might just have to bite the bullet and get him a $200 hen if I haven't found anything by spring. Right, this is the same feed like I was saying, that coarsely ground feed. I feed to everything. And it's a multi-grain feed. It's great. Puts weight on them real good. I have no complaints, and it's affordable. So I just really like it. So these are the laying chickens. I think there's about 83 or 4 of them in here. I usually give them like a couple 100 pounds of feed at a time, so I actually don't have to feed them every day, but I usually just come and make sure they got water and feed. And it looks like they're good for another couple days on feed. And I guess I could use a little more water though. This one's empty as well. So that's pretty much all I have to do with the laying chickens. Other than if they're out of feed, then I would have to fill these feeders here back up. But they still got enough for a couple days yet. And actually they lay their eggs here. But this time of year, because the daylight is so short, they're not laying very well. There's only 2 or 3 eggs a day they lay, maybe. But anyways, this is the laying chicken barn. You know, keep my costs down so I can make a living, I guess. Best way to put it, and then also I feel good that I'm feeding healthier food that doesn't have so many preservatives, GMOs, all that type of stuff. Even though most of these chickens are not being eaten, they're for show purposes. So it looks like the feed delivery man came while we were in the back. So I usually work for these guys in the summer, and they take my recipe and grind it up for me. I wanted to pay him, but I didn't hear him come. He must have taken off already. We got one more thing to do, and that would be to feed the rabbits. And then it would be time for coffee break. The rabbits are back up in this barn, so we'll head up there. Really is a nice day out. Need to get out here and do some fall cleaning, get the leaves up. For November, it's not too bad. You need a jacket, but it's not freezing cold like it could be, I guess. So these are the rabbits. That is a buck there. And then over here we got some more. Good morning. See if they need any water. Yep.